Genie Plus has been plaguing Disney World for years now, so what is the true secret to using it in Disney's Hollywood Studios? We're gonna find out today. Today I am in Disney's Hollywood Studios to find out just how many lightning lanes I can grab here in Hollywood Studios in one day. We're gonna talk some tips and tricks about Genie Plus, the best way to utilize it, and we're gonna hopefully avoid the standby line all day long. Let's see how it goes. Okay, good morning. I just parked at Hollywood Studios. I already got my first lightning lane of the day, which was Slinky Dog Dash. I pulled it at 7 o'clock, and I think it's like 11:30 when I get to go do that. And then my next one is I bought the individual lightning lane because the park opened about 10 minutes ago for Rise of the Resistance, and that one is at like 2:15. So we're doing okay. It's gonna be a long day. We're gonna be hanging out for a while.
I normally would have waited until like a little bit later in the day to come by, since I'm not standing in any standby lines today. I'm just doing Genie. However, first tip of the day is use Genie in conjunction with your standby lines, like Rope Drop and Genie here at Hollywood Studios. It's the perfect pair, okay? So normally I would recommend going for Slinky Dog still at 7 a.m., making that your first priority. Then I would consider coming down Sunset and doing Rock and Roller Coaster and Hollywood Tower of Terror. It's just a great thing, and then you can utilize your lightning lanes for other things. You can maybe ride it twice in a day, or you can even rope drop Rise of the Resistance if you don't want to pay for that individual lightning lane. All that to be said, one of my Emma tips, not necessarily like a Genie Plus tip, is once you've done your first Genie priorities and you've rope dropped, this is more like a Hollywood Studios tip, at Scoops, like the ice cream place, they have a Mickey Bounty, Mickey waffle platter. It looks incredible. They're blueberry waffles that come with syrup, whipped cream, strawberries. $9. I'm very excited. Comes with free. Do your rope drop strategy and then come over here. And also, they have mimosas. I just didn't really want one today, but you can even get a mimosa there. That's crazy.
If you don't know what Genie Plus is Disney's paid skip the line service. There are 3 tiers of it. The first tier is free. It actually is just kind of a tip board on the My Disney Experience app. It suggests things for you to do or gives you recommendations, but that's really about it. We don't really use the free one a lot, but if you want it, it's there. The second paid tier is what most people talk about when they talk about Genie Plus. That gives you access to most of the lightning lanes throughout Disney World, and it can range anywhere from $15 to $35 a day. And now it is based upon park. It used to be one flat fee. Now it depends on what park you're going to, or if you want a park hopper, and it can range through any of those prices. Finally, the third tier is called the individual lightning lane tier. That's where at least one of the rides in every single park is an additional fee on top of Genie Plus to get through those lightning lanes. So over here in Hollywood Studios, it's Rise of the Resistance. Over in Epcot, it is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Animal Kingdom, it's Flight of Passage. And then in Magic Kingdom, they actually have 2 now with Tron open. The first being Tron, and then the other one is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So I've been here at Studios for quite a while. It's been open for 2 hours now, and I've still not ridden anything. But I was able to just make my second lightning lane, which is Tower of Terror at 12:30. So I am gonna have to utilize the 2-hour cooldown now twice. That is not looking great for us. But these are some of the most popular rides, not just in Hollywood Studios, but all of Disney World. So we're gonna hop on Rise, Slinky Dog, and Tower of Terror guaranteed. And then hopefully after that, maybe no more 2-hour cooldowns. I'm not feeling hopeful. I'm also gonna try to modify, so maybe hopefully we can get that Tower 1 a little bit earlier. All right, so only about 10 minutes after I got to make my lightning lane, it's time for me to pop up here at Hollywood Tower Hotel. Oh, it's thinking, okay. All right, here we go. If you haven't been on this one, it is a drop ride where it takes you over and you can see the entire park and then drops you back down. Honestly, I'm a little scared of it, but it's still fun. If you have a fear of heights, like I do, it'll be a little bit daunting, but there's a reason it's a classic. Actually a lot of fun. I've learned to enjoy it now. because I have to at this point. I'll never do that with Astral Orbiter, but I can do that with Tower. But it went on forever and ever and ever. Luckily though, while I was in line, because I was able to modify and I didn't have to wait the full 2 hours to go to Tower, I got an earlier one. I was able to go ahead and make another lightning lane, so I did not have to use that 2-hour cooldown. And I was able to make one for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. That is probably the 3rd most popular Genie Lightning Lane in this park. It's just, people like it. It's fun. So I went ahead and grabbed that one. It's at 120, so I do have a 2-hour cooldown. I'm hoping to modify, but I haven't had any luck yet. However, it is almost time for our first lightning lane we made today, Slinky Dog, so we're gonna head over that way. It is currently a 95-minute wait, so I'm thrilled to not be having to stand in this. This one is one of the hottest, I think arguably worst lines to stand in Disney World. It's miserable, y'all. There's a reason that this lightning lane goes quickly. Plus, it's a great one for kiddos, so a lot of people can ride. Modification is still my best friend. I was able to just modify my Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run lightning lane to an hour earlier. So as soon as I get off of here, I'm headed over that way. This is the worst part of the bucket hat. Taking it off. Slinky Dog was 10 out of 10. That one is so good. I'm glad that we always go for that one because then you get it a little bit earlier in the day and it doesn't take up too much of your time and you don't have to stand in that line. Again, we do recommend grabbing it first, making it work with your rope drop, and then maybe rope dropping Rise just to save a little bit of that money. That's what we think works best. I will also say when it comes to rope dropping and deciding what you want to do, pick your top 3 must-dos before you even get to the park. Pick them before the day of, so that way you know what to prioritize and you're not left guessing on the day. So another one of our Genie Plus tips is go a little bit early. If you don't already know this, you can actually tap into your lightning lane 5 minutes early. My next lightning lane is at 12:05. So I'm gonna show you guys I can tap in a little bit early, and that's gonna be really beneficial, especially if you're making your next lightning lane after you tap in. Millennium Falcon, I did okay. Not, you know, I've done worse. I got 2 containers of coaxium, not half bad. Now I will say I made a strange choice for my next lightning lane because one thing we've not talked about is shows. Shows will end a lot earlier today than the park closes. So I chose this show time in the next like 5 minutes. I need to get over there really fast, tap in, and then make another lightning lane, maybe a better one. One of our next Genie tips is to kind of be willing to take a risk. So like I'm doing right now, I'm kind of risking getting a really late lightning lane for bigger rides like Rock and Roller Coaster or Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because I kind of need to do the shows for the challenge we're doing today. And also, hopefully, I don't have to utilize that 2-hour cooldown by doing this. Not hopefully, I don't have to do it. And I also don't have to utilize that 2-hour cooldown. So sometimes kind of taking a risk and booking one sooner that might not be the best means you don't have to use that cooldown, which can be worth it in the end. All right, my next lightning lane for the day and the first show we're headed to is Disney Junior Dance Party. This is one where you can see a lot of characters at a dance party. This one's great for kiddos, and they have lots of show times throughout the day. I would not necessarily recommend using a lightning lane on this, but here I go. Now I will say, not a Genie Plus hack, but a parent hack. There are benches here in the back of this theater, and I'm gonna watch the show, but not really. I don't want to take up kiddo space, so I'll be on the bench. And maybe you should be too, parents. for my Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway Lightning Lane. Now I have started to stress a little bit about making sure I get all my shows in today. So as soon as I tap in here, I'm hoping I can get the next Lightning Lane for the Beauty and the Beast show, run over there, tap in there, and then grab a Lightning Lane for Indiana Jones, because the Lightning Lanes for the next show are already out and there's only 2 shows after that. So that means I'm gonna have to wait to grab a Rock and Roller Lightning Lane, which is already down to about 4 o'clock today, but I think we'll be okay. You go into the cartoon if you've never been in it. It used to be a great movie ride, but I still like Midday Minis. So I have about 10 minutes to make it to the end of my Lightning Lane for Beauty and the Beast, because it's not a full hour. And that's actually one of our next tips, is to not be caught off guard by your Lightning Lanes. We'll talk about that in a second, but gonna rush over there, watch Beauty and the Beast, and then make our next Lightning Lane. Also, random, I didn't bring my jug today, but I did bring my Loki water bottle. So this is your water reminder. It's so hot. I don't care where you are. It's the summertime. Drink water. Even if it's not, drink your water. So cheers. So don't forget, not all of your Lightning Lanes are going to be an hour. Don't get, kind of messed up. Don't miss a Lightning Lane because of that. Shows like Beauty and the Beast and even Fantasmic at Night, Frozen, Indiana Jones, all of those are not a full hour window, and they're normally about 20 to 30 minutes. Now here's my next dilemma. I have my rise in what time is it? My rise is in 30 minutes. So as soon as I finish this show, that will start. My rise is open. But I can make a Lightning Lane now. However, I need to prioritize Indiana Jones or Frozen Ever After, because they will close. I really want to prioritize Indiana Jones, but I cannot make it to the next show because Rise is like a 20-minute experience. So I'm trying to decide, do I do an earlier Frozen show or do I do a later Lightning Lane for Indiana Jones? I think I'm gonna have to do Indiana. I hate to waste a Lightning Lane on that, but that's our whole point today. So. This is great, but now I'm rushing to try to get to my Rise of the Resistance time. Maybe make it to the next Indy. I don't know. I don't think I have enough time for it, but we're gonna find out. I will say, when we talk about the modify feature, we always talk about getting earlier times. Sometimes if you know you're not gonna make a Lightning Lane, rather than just miss it and waste that Lightning Lane, you can modify it to a later time, which I have done a lot before. All right, here we are, Rise of the Resistance. This is more of an experience than a ride. It takes you through all of the different kind of iconic things in Star Wars. So you're going to see a lot of characters like Rey and Kylo Ren and Finn, and maybe you get captured by the first order, but I don't know. I did decide to change my lightning lane while I was in line for Rise from Indiana to the next earliest Frozen. Basically I did that because I knew I would not make it in time for Indiana, and that's true. I don't think I would have made it. So the Frozen luckily is only in 10 minutes. It was only 5 minutes later. But that means we only have one Indiana Jones left to get to today. I still have to get to Olaf, and Rock and Roller Coaster is down to almost 8 o'clock, which means almost all of the lightning lanes are gone for the day. I'm not feeling hopeful. However, I wouldn't necessarily recommend for you to do this for your vacation. So that's another tip of ours, is don't waste your lightning lanes. Let's talk about what that means though. When I say don't waste your lightning lanes, I mean that in the sense of these shows that we're going to see, they're great, they're incredible. Even seeing Olaf is really, really cool. And I think it's something you should do while you're in Hollywood Studios, but I don't necessarily think you should be using your lightning lanes for it. For example, Olaf's wait time, oh hi Goofy. Olaf's wait time right now is all of 10 minutes. But because of the challenge today, I do need to use a lightning lane to go check it out, but I wouldn't recommend for you to do that. Just go grab a better lightning lane, you know, do something else that's a higher priority, and then wait the 10 minutes for Olaf. Alrighty friends, so I'm about to go tap into Frozen, and then after Frozen, I'm gonna grab the last Indiana Jones lightning lane of the day, and then after that, I'm gonna go to Olaf. However, all of this to be said, if you're here for your vacation, don't do that. Don't do what I'm doing. Just grab the Rock and Roller. There's a big chance by the time I'm able to make another lightning lane selection for that one, it will be gone. All hope is not lost, but we're being cautious. All right, here we are, Frozen Sing-Along Celebration. This is a fun little sing-along where you get to see characters like Anna, Elsa, and even Kristoff, while the Arendelle historians tell you all about what happened in Frozen. Well, kind of. They don't really get it right.
Hi! Welcome to this very special day. Oh, and it's special because, well, for the first time in...
Alrighty friends, Frozen was incredible. Now it's time for the last show of the day here at Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. Right, I made it in for Indiana Jones. I'm here, the side, the back, because I like it here. I don't know, I just chose this. But here we are. I will say Rock and Roller Coaster, the lightning lanes are gone for the day. I might find one later, but we'll see. Indiana Jones, fantastic. Honestly, that show, I know exactly what it is, and it still surprises me every time how crazy it is that they have a whole plane and just pyrotechnics. It's awesome. Definitely recommend it. But don't use a lightning lane for it. Just come get in line. Also, one of our favorite tips is that you can have food and drinks in there, and I just did it today. Alright, next up on our list is Olaf, because he closes next. And then after we're done with Olaf, we are fully onto our list of things that will be open until the park closes. What am I talking about? Rock and Roller Coaster. Rock and Roller Coaster's lightning lanes are gone, so unless we just have the magic touch that we've been lucky enough to have all day, there's a chance we won't get on it. But that's okay. Hope is not lost.
He loves the earrings. Very summery. I know, and her whole outfit came with a theme, huh? Give him a twirl. Oh!
The Olaf line was so short that I walked straight in and no one was there. Not even a single person. And I used a lightning lane for that. It happened so fast, I've not even been able to make my new lightning lane since I tapped in. So I need to do that now. But again, don't waste your lightning lanes on these. Doing another one of those things where I book a lightning lane for right now. I'm going to tap in and then immediately turn around and make another one. Because we still have two fairly, not hard to get, but like bigger rides. Swirling Saucers, Alien Swirling Saucers, and Toy Story Mania. So let's grab those next.
Okay, Star Tours was great. If you haven't been on Star Tours, you get to take a tour of the galaxy, but some things go wrong. And what I love most about this ride is that you might not know what goes wrong because there's different scenarios. It's very cool. I really like it. It's the OG Star Wars ride too. So I got another lightning lane for Toy Story Mania. It starts about 20 minutes. I'm going to take this opportunity to go grab some food, chill for maybe 10 minutes, you know, be a little quick. That's what we really recommend Genie for, is like you can chill, you can have lunch, and you can do other things outside of waiting in those lines. That because of the challenge today, we're not doing that in that way, but that's the best way to use Genie.
Another tip that we have not said explicitly yet is you can really gauge how the crowds are going to be based on Genie Plus. So Genie Plus can range anywhere from $15 to $35 a day, and it's depending on park now. That depends on where you're going. But if it's $35, that's going to be the busiest day you're going to see in Disney World. If it's $15 or anywhere, you know, less than $22, it's going to be a pretty crowd-less day or a light crowd day. Definitely use that to kind of gauge what your game plans will be and what your expectations will be. Also, you can purchase Genie at midnight on the night of your trip or of your park day. And honestly, if you're awake at that point, just go ahead and buy it. It saves time and it saves stress levels for that morning when you're getting ready. I just think it's helpful. All right, after a water break, it's time for Toy Story Mania. It's a shooting game, but Toy Story themed. Kind of like Buzz Lightyear, but different. Two different parks. The Genie magic touch continues. I've never had this much like a Genie in my life, but I went to modify my swirling saucers just to see if anything would pop up, and I got a rock and roller coaster. So let's do this. These don't fit well into the hat. So I have my lightning lane for rock and roller coaster. However, because I did that, I now am stuck in a 2-hour cool down. I was gonna have Woody's for dinner, but if you don't know this, I'm actually filming 2 videos today, which is kind of crazy. We don't normally do that like simultaneously, but I've had some downtime throughout the day to film tidbits of it. So I'm gonna go finish that and then get dinner maybe over that way. I don't know. Made it to ABC Commissary. I went with my classics, shrimp tacos. If you've been around, you've seen me eat these, probably an unhealthy amount. And if you haven't been around, welcome. And also, these are my favorite things in Hollywood Studios. Okay, after dinner, I have 2 things left to do outside of Rock and Roller, which is down, by the way. But I grabbed, where am I? Muppet Vision 3D. I grabbed a lightning lane for Captain immediately, and then made my last one for Alien Swirling Saucers, which starts at 8. So, here we go. They don't fit well. Muppets is so good. Very huge. Do you think people think I like them or just... I don't know, it doesn't matter. Really good though. Now I'm gonna head towards Alien Swirling Saucers because that lightning lane has already started. And then my, I'm losing my mind, I'm sorry. And then my rock and roller coaster has also started 1 minute ago and the ride is back open. So we're gonna do those 2 and be done with our day. All right, we are ending our night back with Buzz, heading to Alien Swirling Saucers. It's where you get in the back of an alien saucer and you swirl. And they play some weirdly upbeat but sad Toy Story songs. Let's tap in. Here we go. I get why Brian likes it. All right, Alien Swirling Saucers was great. It is silly and it's fun. I just don't ever wait in line for it because it's not worth it. It's so short. But if you can get an easy lightning lane for it and you're not sacrificing something else, it's cute and fun and makes me giggle. Now we are finally on to our last ride of the night, rock and roller coaster. She's been my gauntlet today, but we had Genie fingers, which works out for us.
If you guys have ever had like really good luck with Genie, can we start calling it that? Because I liked that.
We finally made it to our last lightning lane of the night. Rock and roller coaster starring Aerosmith. Indoor coaster, goes upside down, stars Aerosmith. You get the gist. This one has been actually up and down all day, and at one point all of the lightning lanes were sold out for it. Thank goodness I was able to catch one. Yeah, and it's 8:39. So not half bad. I've done worse, but it looks like this is the longest lightning lane line I've personally seen. All right, pals, we just did everything in Hollywood Studios that requires Genie Plus without standing in a standby line. That's pretty good. It took us 13 hours, but that's all right. Sometimes that's how it is in Disney World, especially if you're not here a lot. And if you're anything like me, when I was here prior to this job, when I was here for vacation, I was opening and closing the parks every night. So this is normal, this is not bad, and we had a pretty relaxing day in between all of our lightning lanes. However, I will say there are certain things that I don't think you should necessarily do that we did today for the challenge. So when it comes to using lightning lanes here, honestly, I think we've gone through all of our best tips. The only thing I didn't mention already was don't let your brain, think you're doing okay. Don't trust your brain. Don't let your brain trick you. You're gonna forget when your 2-hour cooldown is over or when it's time to make your next lightning lane. So definitely set timers. I know I had to do that today because I almost forgot like twice, 2 or 3 times. It happens, it's no big deal. Just set your timers and you won't have any of those issues as far as knowing when to make your next Genie Plus lightning lane. Overall, I think that you need to use Genie Plus in Hollywood Studios, absolutely, but not for everything. For the shows and the character meet and greets, I think it's okay to skip Genie unless it's like a #1 priority for you. I don't think you need to use Genie for the shows or characters. You can use it for big rides and not even every single ride. Star Tours, you probably don't need it unless it's just the craziest day. Am I glad we did this? Absolutely. Do I think we learned the secrets and the tips and the tricks? Yes. The main trick, never give up. But that's just kind of Genie across the board. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Now you can go learn more about Hollywood Studios and how to do the entire park right in our How to Do Hollywood Studios in 1 Day video. I'll see you there.